Hello students, welcome to the subject Design Patterns, course code SED304. Today in this session, we will learn Abstract Factory Design Pattern. In this session, the main contents that we will cover will be starting from intent, introduction, then we will see the different examples of Abstract Factory Design Pattern, and we will go through with the UML representation. Then we will look into a problem scenario, which we will use to learn and implement the code implementation of abstract factory design pattern, and then at the end there will be conclusion. After learning abstract factory design pattern, you will be able to create the multiple and the families of different objects separately from the representation or the usage of these objects in your application. This will help you to create the multiple kinds of objects or multiple kind of products in your applications. It will also enable you to create the families of related objects. For example, whenever in your application you want different objects to use them together, they may be related or unrelated, then abstract factory design pattern will be helpful to implement it in a more flexible way. Okay, so let's start first with the intent of the abstract factory design pattern. It provides you an interface for creating the families of related or dependent objects without specifying their concrete classes. As you know that the factory design pattern deals with the creation of an object. When you have a product or one kind of object, then the factory design pattern is used to create that object. But abstract factory design pattern is helpful when you have multiple objects, you have families of objects. They can be related or they can be used together, they can be dependent or even they can be independent. So we will see that sometimes there is a requirement in our application that we have multiple kind of objects, we have different kind of products. Then how we can create multiple factories, separate factories for each kind of product. So in this design pattern, it is also the form and the type of the creation category, because again we are using the creation pattern for dealing the creation mechanism of objects. This is the basic introduction. Abstract factory pattern works around a super factory which create the other factories. As we know, the abstract factory design pattern is used to create multiple products. So for each product we have a factory. Suppose let's say we have a product A, and product A has many variations such as 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we have to create the separate factory for product A, and its name can be product A factory. And similarly there is another product which is product B, and the product B has its own different variations and the form such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or so on. They will be all concrete classes, the child classes. The simple factory structure will be the same as you have learned in simple factory design pattern, but in this case we have multiple factories, and around those multiple factories we have a super factory which is also known as abstract factory. So abstract factory design pattern is also called or known as the factory of factories or super factory or abstract factory. This type of design pattern comes under the structural creation pattern, as this pattern provides one of the best ways to create an object. In abstract factory design pattern, interface is responsible for creating a factory of related objects without explicitly specifying their classes. It means the client class will not be knowing the exactly concrete factory class or the concrete product class. It will simply request the super factory class that it wants some kind of product, and the super factory or the abstract factory will be responsible for creating the corresponding factory and forwarding the request to the corresponding factory. So each generated factory can give the objects as per the factory design pattern. You have already learned the factory design pattern, so if you are very much comfortable with the structure and its implementation, then you can easily understand the abstract factory design pattern, because it is the extended form of the simple factory design pattern. Let's take an example from some application level to understand the requirement and the need of abstract factory design pattern. Let's say we are going to design a GUI application, and inside the GUI design application there are multiple GUI controls which we want to display and create in different interfaces of our application. The application may be the application is showing different kind of text boxes. Let's say the one control is text box, and the text box has multiple variation. It can be single line, it can be multiple line, or it can be comment text box. And the second product or object or the second control can be buttons. Buttons have also different variations. They can be round, they can be check boxes, or they can be radio buttons. So you can see we have multiple kind of objects or multiple kind of products or controls inside this requirement. And third, it can be scroll bar. The scroll bar can be also horizontal or vertical. Similarly, we can also have different controls in the form of the borders. The borders can be double, rounded, or dotted. So now you can see that in this situation we are not dealing only with a single product. Let's say I'm just giving you the requirement with a simple text box, then you can only create the simple text box factory to deal the creation for the text box object. But inside this requirement, you can see that the requirement has multiple products or multiple controls or multiple objects that our application want to use. So in this situation, for separating the creation mechanism from its representation, the creation pattern which is best suiting is abstract factory design pattern. We need to create as here are four different kind of products, four different kind of objects. So we need to create the separate individual factory for each kind of product. Let's say in this scenario we have to create the four factories. The one will be the text box factory, the second will be button factory, third will be scroll bar factory, and the fourth will be border factory. And above all these factories there will be a super factory or the abstract factory. So the user or the client class will request any kind of product, and it will send the request to the abstract or the super factory, and the super factory will be responsible for creating the corresponding factory for which the client will put the request. So in the next slide, when you will see the implementation, you will be easily understanding that how multiple factories can be easily adjusted using the abstract factory design pattern. This is the general UML representation of abstract factory design pattern. You can see that the client class is requesting the super factory or the abstract factory for any kind of product request, and the abstract factory is further having the concrete factories, and the number of the concrete factories will be dependent upon the number of the products, that how many products you want to create using the this design pattern. So the concrete factories in the previous scenario which we have discussed were four. And this is the general UML representation. It has shown that the concrete classes will be inherited from the super factory, and when the requirement change, the number of the concrete factories will be changed. And inside the each factory you can see the product interface structure, and the concrete product structure will remain the same as you have already learned and discussed in the simple factory design pattern. Inside each factory you can see there is a generic interface for the product, and the concrete classes for the product will be representing the child classes or the type of the products for any scenario. Okay, so now to understand the implementation of the abstract design pattern, let's consider the same scenario which we have already discussed in the simple factory design pattern. If you recall that the simple factory design pattern was dealing with the creation of a shape object, and the shape have multiple type of shape, like they were round, rectangle, and so on. But now we are extending the requirements. We are going to add another product which is let's say color, and the color has also different kind of variation. Let's say color has different variation in the form of red, green, blue, white, and so on. So now we have in our drawing framework we have now two objects or the two products. The one is the shape and second is the color. And see that how we will use the abstract factory design pattern and how we will implement the participant classes for this scenario. So we are going to create a shape and the color interfaces and concrete classes implementing these interfaces. We will create an abstract factory class which will be super factory class, and inside this super factory class there will be two concrete factories. The one is the shape factory and the second is the color factory. Let's assume if the requirements grows and as in the shape and the color there is a third also product which is let's say pen or the marker, then you have to create and write the separate factory classes for each another product or the object at this level. but in this case here are only two factories. So a factory, there is another additional participant class inside the abstract factory design pattern which you haven't written in the simple factory, or there were not the basically need of the factory producer class, because now we have the multiple factories, and around them there is a generic factory, super factory interface. But now the creation of the different factories will be also dealt in the more dynamic way. It will be the creating using the another participant class which is factory producer or the factory generator class, because the only request for any product will be if comes, then the corresponding factory will need to be created. Let's say if the user is requesting any particular kind of shape, then there is a need for creation of shape factory. Color factory instance should not be created. So in the abstract factory design pattern, the decision making of the factory class will be also handled in the factory producer or the generator class. In the next, we will again to give the demo. We will also create the client class which will be our main demo class, and it will request the factory producer to get the instance of our super factory or the abstract factory, and it will pass the information for the product. Let's say if the product is shape, then the input will be the type of the shape. It can be circle, rectangle, or the square. And for the another second type of product, the request for the color will be different kind of options will be red, green, blue, depend upon the choices. So the abstract factory and the super factory now will control the all sub factories for the creation of these kind of two products. Now to convert these raw textual requirements, we have designed this UML representation by considering the abstract factory design pattern. Firstly, you can see that there is a demo class which has a main method from the right side. Let's say start. The second participant class, which is very important, which is factory producer class. The factory producer class is taking a request from the user. The user will send request of the product to the producer class, and the producer class will produce the factory depend upon the request of the type of the product. Let's say if the user requests for specific color, then the factory producer will produce the color factory, and if the user will request for any kind of shape, then the factory producer will produce the instance of the shape factory class. So now the decision making is also being handled at the factory level. And this is the next class is abstract factory class. This is the generic interface, the super factory interface, to represent all kind of factories. So in this requirement we have two projects, two different products which are related in our drawing framework. The one is the shape and the second is color. So we have created two separate factories for each product. The one is the color factory and second is the shape factory. You can see that inside the abstract factory interface we have declared the main two methods of our factory classes, because the shape factory is producing the shape, so there is a get shape method, and the color factory is producing the color based on the choice and the request of the user. So inside the abstract factory class we have also given the signature and declaration of the color, which is get color method. And you can see that the next factory architecture is the same as the working of the simple factory. So inside each factory there is a representation of the product interface. The first is the generic interface of the product, which in this case shape is the same, and the concrete classes of the product will be dependent upon that how much type of the shapes are also available in this scenario. But now we have only three kind of shapes. If they are four or five, then the concrete classes for the products will be increased. Similarly, in this current requirement we have only the options and the choices of the colors are only three. So there are only three concrete classes. If they grow, then the concrete classes will grow. So from this simple UML you can easily write the code for the abstract design pattern. So let's move to the next slide for its code implementation. The first is the shape interface. It's very simple. Inside this interface we have declared the draw method. Second is the first concrete class of our first product, which is shape in this case, and inside its draw method or we can implement or define the draw functionality here. This is the second concrete class of our first product, which is shape, and the type is square. You can write this functionality here. Then this is the third concrete class of our first product, which is circle. You can write its concrete functionality here. And now as we have different products and the second product is color, so this is the interface of our second product, which is color, and inside you can write or declare its own method, which in this case is fill. So this is the first variation or the first product of our second product, which is color, and the first variation is red. You can define the fill functionality, the RGB values inside this method. So this is the next concrete class of our second product, color. The second variation is green, and you can write its RGB value or define its functionality inside this fill method. This is third variation class of our second product, which is blue color, and you can also define the functionality of fill inside this class. Now the very important class is the abstract factory or the super factory class. This is abstract. Why it's abstract? Because we don't know that which kind of factory class will be created, and inside this factory abstract factory or the super factory class, we have declared the methods for dealing with the two kinds of products. The one is the color and second is the shape. The get color class will take the request from the client or the user class. The choice will be the variation in the color, and the user will pass the choice of the color through this method, and this method will produce the object and return. As you can see that the return type of get color method is same, the color. And similarly get shape method will take the request from the factory class, that what kind of shape user wants, and it will create the shape based on the choice and will return it as so we have declare its type of the return as a shape object. So in the next you need to create the factory classes extending the super factory to generate the object of concrete class based on the given information. For example, if the user requests for any type of color, then the instance of the color factory should be created. If the user requests for any type of the shape, then the shape factory instance should be created. So this is the first shape factory concrete class, which is extending the super factory. Inside this you can see that the shape factory is dealing with the creation mechanism of the product of the shape. This is the same class or the same code which you have already seen inside the simple factory design pattern. Inside this get shape method, the shape type is shape type parameter contains the choice of the user, that if user requests for the circle, rectangle or the square, then the corresponding object is being created and returned using this method as the type is shape. And inside the second method get color is just empty, because the shape factory is only responsible for the creation of shapes object. For the creation of the color objects, the next second concrete class of the factory will be responsible. So let's move to the color factory class. This concrete class is also extending from the super factory, and inside this the get shape method is empty, because its functionality is already dealt inside the shape factory class. The second get color method is again taking the request from the user in the form of the color variable. If the user requests any choice of the color, let's say if the user wants red color, then the corresponding red object is being created. If the user requests for the green kind of color, the green object is created, and if the user requests for the blue, the corresponding object is being created and returned. Let's say if the color has 10 kind of variations, then the inside this conditional these conditional statements, the 10 if else if or the switch can be used. The next participant class is very important. This is factory producer class. Factory producer class will be responsible to get the factories by passing an information such as shape or color. Let's say if the user want any type of shape, then user will request the factory producer for that particular object. And you can see that factory producer class has get factory method. This get factory method has already have input in the form of a string, a choice. If the user pass any kind of choice, then the decision for the creation of the factory instance will be dependent upon this choice. For example, if user passes choice as a shape, then only the shape factory instance should be created and returned. If the user passes the choice for the color, then the corresponding factory instance should be created and returned, as in this case is color. As we have only two different products, which is shape and color, let's say if we have third product which is pen or border or any other thing, then the number of the concrete factories will also be increased, and the choices will be also increased, and the conditional statements for the factory class will also be increased. Use the factory producer class to get the abstract factory in order to get the factories of concrete classes by passing information such as type, as we have already done in our factory producer class. The next is our demo class, the client class, which will through which we will see that how we can use the abstract factory design pattern for the creation of our products or the objects. Firstly, inside the main method, the first statement, you can see that factory producer dot get factory method is being called by passing the parameter of choice as a shape, and the return instance is stored in the shape factory or the super factory. Abstract factory instance is storing the reference of the concrete factory, so the user doesn't know that behind of the factory producer instance is shape factory or the color factory instance. It's just storing the reference of the super factory. So the using this instance from the super factory, the user can create or can get the any type of shape or any type of product. So the next statement is creating the shape of which type is circle. So we are creating the shape factory dot get shape and passing the type of our product, which in this case is circle, and storing that object inside the main our product, which is shape. Similarly, the corresponding method can be called using the same reference, which is in this case is shape1 dot draw. The next line is, let's say if we want to change the type of our shape, then the only string input parameter will be changed, the other code will remain the same. This is the beauty of the polymorphism and the inheritance. Now see, if we want to create the if we want to use or consume the second product, which inside this case is color, then we need to only change the string parameter inside this get factory method. Factory dot producer dot get factory method is being called using the input type parameter as a color, and the reference is again being stored inside the instance of the super factory class. And similarly, using this super factory instance, you can get or you can create the type of the product, which in this case is color. The color factory dot get color is being used to get any type of color. Let's say if you want red, then pass the red as a double quoted hard coded string, because this method, the get color method, is working based on taking the input in the form of the string form, and the resultant object will be stored inside the generic and the our parent product interface, which in this case is color. So similarly, the same hierarchy you can create or you can simply pass the information through these methods. This is the output, and by this output you can easily keep track of the flow of your program. Firstly, you can see that how the shapes and how the second object is created and its corresponding methods are being called. So we can conclude that use the abstract factory design pattern when you have multiple products. Use the factory design pattern when you have a single product and its forms and the variation. But if you have multiple products, you have families of products, you have different independent products or dependent products inside your application, then to separate its creation mechanism from its representation, you can use the super factory design pattern or abstract factory design pattern. A system should be configured with one of the multiple families of the products, as we have already seen that we have multiple kind of objects. A family of related product objects is designed to be used together. For example, in the drawing framework, you can use the shape, the color, the pen, the border, and many other controls together. So if you want to provide a class library of products and you want to review just the interfaces, not their concrete classes or the implementation, as I have already told you that many design patterns are already being implemented in different libraries. For example, inside the swing there are multiple GUI controls which you simply put requests through the general interfaces. You doesn't know the behind implemented classes or the concrete classes. So you can easily use abstract factory or the super factory design pattern inside your application, where you want to facilitate the user classes or the client classes to put the request for creation of different products inside the application. This is the simple class activity which I used to ask students to perform in the class. But you can for in the online session you can perform this activity at home or simply in your lab class.